Okay, so we're doing some review for the final now in LQ. And the first thing I'm going to talk you through is if I've got 2 points and I want to find the slope, about half the kids in here did it right the first time we did it. I'm going to do one more. 3, comma, -2, and 1, comma, 7. Would you please figure out what the slope is between those 2 points? All right, so it's 7 minus -2. A little weird, but true. 7 plus 2. And then 1 minus 3 on the bottom. Final answer, 7 plus 2 is 9. Over 1 minus 3 makes -2. 9 halves, and it's negative. Raise your hand if you had that one right. All right. Good. So that's slope. Back to the one I said was the most important thing. This one is not solved for what? It's not solved for y. Solve it for y. Looks a little different than ones we tried before. Solve that for y. I'll pause for a moment while you give that one a shot. You are correct, sir. We subtract 3. And if I subtract 3 from both sides and I do it in the right place, this will cancel. So y is alone, just like we wanted. 2x, and that makes -10. So now, from that, you should be able to say, oh, so the slope is this, and the y-intercept's that. Because this is y equals mx plus b form, the one you're all pretty used to. So, what's the m, the slope? 2. What is the y-intercept? The 10. In fact, it's a -10, so just be careful on that. So the slope's 2, the y-intercept's -10. If we needed something parallel, what would its slope be? Say I'm writing a new equation. Y equals blah. What should its slope be if it's going to be parallel? Nope, this would not make it parallel. Has to be either this flipped and made opposite. That would be, but that wouldn't be parallel. That would be perpendicular. Good. So 1/2 is close. That's again getting you close to being perpendicular, but I wanted parallel. You're way overthinking it. Yes, we'll do a negative flip later. That's not for parallel. What's parallel to this? Just 2. Use the same exact number. All right, so this equation right there is parallel. Why? Because it's got the same slope. This equation, changing this to, what should I change it to make it perpendicular? What should I change it to make it perpendicular? -1/2. Awesome. You do both things. You flip it and you make it the opposite. There. Now that is perpendicular to that. That means when those 2 lines are graphed, they would not cross in a normal way. They would cross, let's say one of them's here. Let's say one of them's here. They would cross in such a way that they make a right angle. Those are a special kind of crossing line. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to hand this packet out, and we're going to do some of these problems together that are part of your homework for tonight. So the packet, again, is called Semester 1 Final Exam Review. All right, we're back. Would you read me number 2, please? This is right off of that review packet. All right, and I hope you know that these 2 are both kind of the same. They're both like in the same family. Those can be added together. V's can be added to other V's. What do you get for a total there? 7V. And then these can be added to those because they're both just numbers. Now, one of them is negative and one of them's positive. But together, what do they make? -5. There we go. 7V minus 5. Now, you might be thinking, well, why aren't we adding 5 and then dividing by 7? That'd be if it was an equation. There's no equal sign here. If it said equals 12 or something, then we would be adding 5 and dividing by 7. But it's not an equation. All right. Okay? Yeah. When you want. Perfect. Nice fuzzy pencil case will come in handy. All right, let's move on to, I think you should do 4 yourself, so I don't just end up doing all your homework here. And move on. Would you read me number 6, please?
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead. Was it M or N? Okay. Is that correct? Is that just copied down right? Did I write it right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So then, all it is, I think, does it say distribute in the title, or does it say multiply, or simplify? Oh, okay, simplify. Whenever I have something snugged right up against a parentheses, I know that that means I'm going to take this -2 and times it by both things that are in there. So you distribute it to both of them, like that. All right. What do you think we get for the first part? When you go the -2 times the 1. Yep. And what do you think we get when they do the second part? -2 times the 4m. -8m. There you go. That's it. Write that down, and you got number 6 done. This is number 6. Catch up because we're about to move to the next page. You don't actually put these together. Do you know why? Because one has m's and one doesn't. So this is it. That's done. That's it. Nothing else. No more to do. Because you can't, because they aren't like terms. But the 2 and the 8 don't have the same family. The 2 is just in the number family, and the 8, that's a whole bunch of m's. That could go with other m's, but not with anything else. They have to be like terms. All right, so let's move on to the next kind of problem, which would be like number 10. Number 10 says, for parentheses, this is number 10, 5 minus 2x plus 3x. Now I'm going to distribute this part. You know why? Because any number budged right up against parentheses is just saying, hey, distribute this. So go ahead and do that part. Number 10. Number 10. So what'd you get at the beginning? KM? Yep. And then I go 4 times -2 is -8x. And then, wait a minute, there's a 3x. What do I do with it? Well, the 3x, yep, I bring it down, and it goes with these because they're alike. They're like terms. So now how many x's total do I have? I like to think of this as a battle between negative forces and positive forces. And it's -5x is correct. Because the negatives win the battle. And there was a 20 here. There we go. Thank you. Some are this easy, yes. But not the, I wish the final was like this. Oh my gosh. No, this is just part of the final. No, the whole packet covers the whole final, but the beginning of the packet is the easy part. Okay, what was your question? Is it possible to what? Yes, it is possible to ace the final, but I will tell you there's some pretty tough equations at the end, but this is graded in Marzano style, which means you just have to get 75% on it to get an A. So you don't have to think about acing it. If you can get 75% on it, that's a pretty good deal. All right, thank you. Okay, yes. All right, good question. We are going to do a few pages of this because to be able to get this done by the time we are done is I'm going to have you do 15 problems tonight, which would mean do actually 16. You're going to do 1 through 32, but just the evens. So that's 16 questions. 1 through 32, evens only. So only 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. Okay, so let's get on to number 14. Everybody, where I have flipped the page, congratulations. Just, nope, almost done here. All right, on number 14, stay with me, and you'll earn your right to work on that other thing you wanted to work on. On number 14, it's 12 plus 3 times 2. Oh, I know this. You just always go from left to right. Whoever says that, just smack them. You can't just go from left to right. It doesn't work. Somebody, I think, taught kids that when they were adding and subtracting. They thought that they just always do that. No, you have to go in the, please excuse my dearest Aunt Sally order. Parentheses are first. I don't see any parentheses, so you move on. Exponents are next. Do you see any exponents? I don't see any exponents. That'd be like little numbers like this. There's none of those. So move on to add. Oh, no, it's not PEA. It's please excuse my dear. That's multiplies and divides. Do you see one of those? Yeah. So that has to be first. Even though it's tempting to do 12 plus 3, you do not. You multiply those two first. 12 plus 6. Yes, what is 12 plus 6? 18 is the final answer, and that's correct. So we got to make sure you do these in the right order. Okay, so that whole page, just the even says, just do it in the right order. They may seem easy because, oh, you just multiply and then you add. But kids always get mixed up. My advice is to show a lot of work. Like, I know people generally don't like to do that, but when you try to do a ton of steps in your head, you'll get them wrong. So every time you got something simplified, write it down, and you got a new problem. And then do that little problem, and you get a new problem. And you keep simplifying it down and down and down. All right. And then the last page, again, I'm happy to give you this assignment. This is such an easy one. It just tells you a bunch of things at the top of the page there. Oh, there's our 12-minute warning. It tells us a bunch of things that we should stick in. Wherever you see an X, you put an 8. Wherever you see a Y, you put a 6. Wherever you see an M, you put a 3, etc. So number 24 here is 4x minus 2m. And I see x at the top. It says at the top x equals 8. So I'm putting in an 8. I like to put it in parentheses. But wait, what else can I swap in there? How about the m? What's the m? A 3. So I'm going to replace the m with a 3. Now, can I just do it in any order I want? No. Can I just go from left to right? No. You've got to multiplies and divides come before adds and subtracts. So this has to be first, this has to be second, and then you can subtract them. So what is 8 times 4? 32. What is 2 times 3? 6. Now, only now, after I got all the multiplies done, can I go back and subtract. All right, from there, you should be able to handle it. All right, so today is just 1 through 30, the evens, and we will hit more topics again tomorrow, which is Thursday, and then Friday, we'll cover even more, and then Tuesday, when you come back from that nice long weekend, we'll cover even more of it, and then your actual final, let me think, you guys are in 6th hour, I think that's on Thursday of finals week. So that means it's a week and a day from now. So we'll just keep plowing through this packet. Here's a big tip for you. Don't lose the packet. Otherwise, you have to redo all the ones that you did. We are going to collect this on the day of the final, and it's worth points of your homework. So if you lose this thing, it's really going to hurt because you have to go back and do all the evens over again. Take you a lot of time. I do have extras of the packet because I know there's some of you who have a problem with losing things. But it'll be painful to have to go back and do all those over. Okay, that's all I got for you for today.